Night falls like a silent cloth, covering cities, forests, and deserts. The breath of the world slows, yet something within remains restless. The body surrenders to the mattress, the eyes close, and still, in the instant of falling asleep, a strange sensation arises, that we are not truly resting. It is a weariness that does not fade, an invisible weight that follows us even after 8 hours of sleep. As if the very midnight were complicit in a secret. Each morning reveals the mystery, heavy eyes, tense muscles, a scattered soul. As if we had fought battles we cannot remember. But against what? Against whom? The modern world calls it stress, a hurried routine, a hyperactive mind. But what if there is more? What if the explanation lies not only in the body, but in the hidden realms we cross every night? The ancients knew. They did not see sleep only as rest. They saw it as passage, a bridge between worlds, a door that opens without our consent. And at this door, 3 states appear. Wakefulness, which never fully abandons the body, even in repose. Dream, which rises as the theater of mind and soul. And a third, rarer, more concealed, called Turiya, the 4th state, described in the oldest texts of India, where consciousness dissolves into something greater than time, greater than the body, greater even than the very idea of sleep. But before reaching it, the human being lives among invisible layers. Layers that, when not understood, drain vital energy. Imagine, you close your eyes, believing you will rest, but in truth you enter a battlefield unseen. A war not against external enemies, but against inner voices, bodily tensions, fragmented images of memories repeating themselves. That is why so many wake tired. It is not only physical, it is spiritual. As if the pillow silently kept the proof that the body rests, but the soul does not. A veil stretches over us every night, a veil that never rests. And here the question cuts through the fabric of reality. If sleep was meant to renew, what, then, is stealing our energy? Imagine being asleep, yet still hearing the faintest noise in the house. The hum of the refrigerator, the crack of wood, a car passing in the street. It is as if a secret sentinel remains on guard, even when the body begs for rest. This is the first nocturnal state, wakefulness that never ends. Even when we fall asleep, a part of us does not. It watches, it guards, it keeps the body alert to any threat. It is the primitive echo of an instinct once vital. When we lived among beasts, caves, and hunters, we could not fully surrender. We needed one eye open, even if invisible. But the price of this inner guardian is high. It infiltrates the fibers of the body. It keeps muscles in microtension. It makes the heart oscillate, ready to react. And silently, it prevents the soul from sinking deep. That is why so many wake exhausted, even without dreams to recall. They never left the theater of wakefulness. The body rested, but the mind played as an actor in a continuous scene, performing the role of the watchman. It is like being in a house with all the lights out, yet keeping a single candle lit in the corner. Small, discreet, almost imperceptible, but still enough to prevent complete darkness. The body longed for the entire night, but the flame, stubborn, refuses to die. Close your eyes now. Tense your entire body for a few seconds. Clenched hands, rigid legs, jaw locked tight. Feel the contraction. Now release everything at once. Breathe deeply and notice the difference. This invisible tension you just felt is what many carry for hours, even in sleep. It is the watchman who never falls silent. This exercise reveals the first secret. If we do not recognize the inner sentinel, we never hand over the key to true sleep. Sleep, then, is not binary, not only awake or off. It is a gradient, a transition. And on this threshold, the inner watchman rises to the stage every night, performing a play you never remember at dawn, but whose price you pay in fatigue. And only when the guardian draws the curtain does another state begin to unfold, a place of images, symbols, and fragmented stories, a world that can fascinate or imprison. When the inner watchman finally loosens its guard, a curtain opens. Behind it, there is no silence, but a stage in constant motion. It is the territory of dreams, a labyrinth made of symbols, ancient voices, and fragments of memory rearranging themselves like pieces of a living mosaic. In dreams, time does not follow the clock. You may walk down a street from childhood and in the next instant soar over oceans you have never seen. You may meet familiar faces in unfamiliar bodies. You may speak with the dead, embrace enemies, run from shadows without names. Dreams are not random products of a resting brain. They are a theater of the soul. On the nightly stage, unspoken feelings take form. Repressed desires wear masks. Hidden fears become creatures. And everything left unsaid during the day finds its voice in the dark. Imagine walking down an endless corridor. From each door, moving images spill out. A childhood laugh, a forgotten betrayal, a kiss never given, a fall that still hurts. Dreams are this corridor, no map, no clear exit. With each door opened, a piece of you is revealed. The ancients knew this. The Egyptians saw dreams as letters sent by the gods, signs of destiny. The Navajo, peoples of the Americas, believed dreaming was walking in parallel worlds, as real as this one. The Tibetans developed the art of dream yoga, a discipline to remain conscious inside the labyrinth and uncover the hidden truth behind the images. For all of them, dreaming was never an accident. It was always a spiritual journey. Next time you wake with the vivid memory of a dream, do not try to interpret it as if it were a mathematical puzzle. Instead, ask, what emotion is this dream trying to show me? More than images, dreams are emotional mirrors. They reveal, through symbols, what your waking consciousness refuses to face. But there is a danger in this labyrinth. For if within it we find fragments of who we are, we may also lose ourselves. We may carry unresolved emotions, recurring dreams that drain energy like open wounds. And it is at this point that the night ceases to be rest and becomes weight. There are nights when we wake with the feeling of having run for miles. The body lies still, yet the soul exhausted. As if we had crossed deserts, fled from unseen enemies, argued with voices still echoing inside. This is the burden of unresolved dreams. They do not vanish at dawn. They accumulate. The brain, unable to fully distinguish dream from reality, carries each emotion as if it had been truly lived. A dream of abandonment leaves the chest heavy, as if we had indeed been left behind. A nightmare of pursuit quickens the heart, as if the threat were right there. A recurring dream insists like a wound that will not heal, an echo demanding attention. Imagine a river meant to run freely. But each unresolved dream is like a stone thrown into its waters. Over time, the river loses its flow. The current grows slow, heavy. And so the soul awakens, carrying invisible stones in its stream of energy. There is a simple gesture that can turn this weight into lightness: writing. Upon waking, before reaching for your phone or speaking to anyone, write down the first image, word, or sensation that still vibrates from the dream. No need to interpret, no need to understand. Just write. This act transfers the residue of the unconscious onto paper. It is like opening the dam and allowing the river to flow again. Indigenous traditions called this honoring the message. For every dream, resolved or not, is a letter sent to consciousness. To ignore it is to accumulate spiritual dust. To record it is to cleanse the inner temple. Perhaps this is why so many wake tired, because they spent the night reliving emotions they could not release. Each dawn becomes a silent repetition, a theater consuming vital energy. And yet, there is something beyond. A state that is not wakefulness, nor dream, nor nightmare. A deeper silence, described by the ancient sages as the fourth dwelling of consciousness. But how do we cross into it? How do we enter the hidden state that so few ever reach? Night seems simple. We lie down, we dream, we wake. But behind this apparent routine, the ancient sages whispered another truth. There are 3 states every human crosses, and a 4th, hidden, that almost no one touches. Wakefulness. Deep sleep. Turiya. Turiya means simply the 4th. It is not a physical place, but a state of consciousness. It is the backdrop upon which all the others unfold. It is the silence that sustains the sound, the invisible screen that allows the film to be projected. The Upanishads, sacred texts of ancient India, describe Turiya as the essence of consciousness. It is not being awake, nor dreaming, nor sinking into dreamless sleep. It is beyond, in a clarity that observes all other states without blending with them. Imagine 3 waves on the ocean. The first is wakefulness, restless, noisy, visible. The second is dream, fluid, colorful, ever-changing. The third is deep sleep, dense, heavy, a silent plunge. But beneath them all lies the ocean itself. Turiya is the ocean, not the waves that rise and fall. For the ancients, to perceive Turiya was to touch the base of being, to feel united with something that never sickens, never ages, never tires. The field of pure consciousness, the silent witness that observes everything without being touched. And yet, how many of us have ever touched this state? How many have awakened with a peace deeper than any sleep could give? The key to begin sensing this 4th state is simple to say, yet difficult to live. Observe without trying to control. Lie down with the body surrendered, the breath soft, and simply watch, as if you were a silent spectator of your own night. Without seeking dreams. Without fighting thoughts. Only witnessing. It is on this threshold that the door between 3 worlds opens. It is not sleep, not dream, not wakefulness. It is something that slips through language. But if this state is so pure, so natural, why do so few ever reach it? What is the invisible barrier that keeps us outside? Imagine standing before a door made of light. Behind it, absolute silence. A space where there is no pain, no time, no weariness. And yet, you remain still, unable to cross. Eyes closed, body surrendered, but something within resists. This is the barrier of forgetfulness. It rises each night between us and Turiya. The ancient masters said access to the 4th state is not denied. It is forgotten. It is always here, like the backdrop of existence, but we do not recognize it. The mind, filled with noise, distracts itself with dreams, with fears, with memories. And even in deep sleep, something prevents us from stepping across the threshold. It is like standing before a radiant portal in a dream, only to turn away and wander down dark corridors, repeating the same paths again and again. The light is there, but the habit of fleeing silence is stronger. Part of us is afraid of dissolving, afraid of letting go of control. Wakefulness wants to command. Dreams want to tell their stories. And absolute silence feels too frightening. So we retreat, and by morning we awaken tired, because we spent the whole night avoiding the only thing that could truly heal us: surrender. The ancients discovered a key to pass through this barrier: Om. Not just as a word, but as vibration. Om was seen as the primordial sound, the echo of the universe in its first instant of creation. To chant or to hear this sound is like tuning an inner antenna. It vibrates through the layers of the body, dissolves resistance, and slowly opens the door to the silence we have forgotten. Try it now, even in thought. Feel the vibration through your head, your chest, your abdomen. This sound does not take you somewhere else. It reminds you that the place is already within you. The barrier is not physical. It is not made of walls or bars. It is made of distraction, fear, and noise. And that is why so many never perceive Turiya. Not because it is distant, but because they do not dare to look inside. And yet, in rare moments, some do cross. Mystics, meditators, ordinary people in nights of unexpected surrender. And when it happens, something transformative appears. They awaken not only rested, but renewed in a way beyond explanation, as if the body had touched the very source from which all life flows. But after all, what happens when someone touches this state? What changes within the human being when they drink, even for an instant, from this invisible fountain? There are ancient accounts of monks who slept only a few hours, yet awoke as if they had rested for days. Men and women who, even through long nights of wakefulness, rose radiant, with luminous eyes and light bodies. The secret? It was not the quantity of sleep. It was the state they entered within it. This state, called Turiya, is described as absolute silence. Not the silence of absent sound, but the silence of absent weight. It is the point where the mind tells no stories, the body carries no tension, time makes no demands. It is pure consciousness, untouched, formless. Imagine being in a room full of mirrors. In each mirror, a different reflection: your body, your memories, your dreams, your fears. Suddenly, all the mirrors dissolve. And what remains is not reflection, but the space in which they all were held. That space is Turiya. In daily life, we identify with the roles we play: workers, children, parents, seekers. Each role demands energy. Each mask weighs us down. But in Turiya, the masks fall. The body is no longer the center. The mind is no longer the prison. And in that instant, weariness simply dissolves. There is nothing to recover because nothing was ever lost. There is nothing to restore because the essence was never touched. The body may be fragile, but consciousness is untouchable. It is like drinking from the original spring, where thirst does not exist. A glimpse of this state can be felt in rare moments of daily life. In the instant before sleep, when the mind shuts down but you are still aware. In deep meditation, when thoughts dissolve like mist under the sun. Or even in life's shocks, when a truth so intense arrives that, for a few seconds, everything is suspended and silence is total. These moments are not the full state, but cracks that let the light of the greater field shine through. And here lies the secret. Turiya is not reached only by monks or sages. It is the foundation of every human being. All of us have touched it, even if only in forgotten instants. And each time it happens, we return transformed. Those who touch Turiya awaken different. The eyes carry a glow. The body moves with lightness. There is a calm that does not come from outside, but from within, and that calm heals. For in this field there is no weariness. There, weariness ends. But a new question arises. If this state can heal us, how can we cross from theory into experience? The question rises like an inevitable whisper. If Turiya is the source that dissolves fatigue, how do we reach it? The ancients never pointed to complicated techniques. They knew the fourth state is not conquered by force, but by surrender. It is not a door to be broken down, but a portal to be crossed with lightness. Think of a restless lake. The more we try to calm the waters with our hands, the more disturbed they become. But when we stop, when we release control, the lake naturally returns to stillness. So it is with consciousness. It does not need to be forced, only remembered. Breath is the invisible thread linking body, mind, and spirit. And the sages discovered that by harmonizing breath, we open the door to the silent state. Before sleep, lie down comfortably. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold for 2. Exhale to the count of 6. And repeat. With each longer exhalation, the mind yields. The body releases. The inner watchman lowers its guard. Breath is the first key. Another key is sound, not external sound, but inner vibration. Repeating softly, in thought or in a low voice, a simple mantra such as Om or even a word of peace, love, creates a frequency that tunes the mind to silence. It is not a technique of control, but a reminder, a recollection that you already belong to the field you seek. There is also a third gesture, conscious wakefulness before sleep. Lie down and simply observe. Feel the body sink into the bed. Notice thoughts rising and passing. Do not fight them, do not follow them, only witness. It is in this witnessing that consciousness begins to recognize the backdrop, Turiya. These practices do not guarantee immediate experience, but they tune the being as one tunes an instrument so the melody can play. The state arises when it arises, spontaneous, like lightning in the night sky. Yet those who prepare the field receive the light more easily. And even when we do not fully reach Turiya, something greater is already unfolding. For each attempt is a training in surrender. Each conscious breath, each mantra repeated, each silent watching is a step toward what we are in essence. But there is a deeper secret still. Even when we do not arrive at the fourth state, the very night itself is already initiating us into something greater. Every day, the night takes us in its arms like a secret ritual. It does not matter if we are kings or beggars, young or old, all of us cross the same portal when we close our eyes. And this portal is not only rest, it is initiation. Imagine each night as a dark river. You step onto the shore, hesitate, and then dive. The current carries you far from the solid ground you know. And only at dawn do you return, soaked in symbols, marked by experiences you cannot fully remember. This nightly passage is a rehearsal of death and a foreshadowing of rebirth. When we sleep deeply, we lose the notion of who we are. We do not recall the body, the identity, the name. It is a brief death. And when we awaken, we return to the theater of life as one reborn. That is why the ancients called sleep the twin brother of death. There was no fear in this recognition, there was reverence. But here lies the mystery. We do not return exactly the same. Each night alters us, passes through us, shapes us. We bring back fragments of dreams, echoes of emotions, glimpses of silence. We also bring the weight of what was left unresolved. This is why we often wake weary, because we have crossed not only sleep, but the symbolic abyss of death, where parts of us dissolve and others are formed. Next time you wake, before rising, pause for a few seconds. Ask yourself, what was reborn in me tonight? Perhaps it is an emotion resurfaced, perhaps a forgotten memory, or perhaps only silence. This small gesture transforms awakening into a rite of consciousness. If each night is initiation, then each morning is a calling to live with more presence, remembering that the day is not guaranteed, but granted. Perhaps, deep down, this is what drains our energy. Not only the weight of dreams, but the silent crossing we endure each night. A crossing greater than we imagine. And it is at this point the question returns like a deep echo. Could it be that we wake exhausted because, without noticing, we die and are reborn every night? The alarm rings. Light pours through the window. And once again you awaken, tired or renewed, carrying in your eyes the invisible trace of the night. But now, after crossing the 3 states, perhaps the morning is no longer the same. For there is something you know. Fatigue is not only physical. It is a sign, a trace left by the invisible journey. To wake exhausted may mean your soul fought, wandered through labyrinths, carried unfinished memories. But it may also mean you touched, even for an instant, the vastness of Turiya, and that, upon returning, a part of you still carries that silence, like one who comes back from a deep dive. It is like returning from the immensity of the ocean with salt still clinging to your clothes, or stepping out of a dense forest with leaves still tangled in your hair. You carry the marks of the crossing, and each morning they whisper, "You have passed through something greater than you imagine." That is why you should not seek only rest. Seek remembrance. Remember that within every night there is a field that never tires. Remember that beyond wakefulness and dream, there is a pure, untouched space, always present, the silence of Turiya. It is this silence that heals. It is this silence that restores lightness. And when we touch it, whether for seconds or for hours, we bring something precious into waking life. The remembrance that we are more than body and mind. Next time you close your eyes, do not see the night only as rest. See it as initiation. Allow yourself to release. Allow yourself to hear the primordial sound vibrating in the depths of your being. And upon awakening, ask, what of the silence still lives within me? For in the end, it is this silence that remains. The field where fatigue ends. The space where the soul breathes. The place where you are never exhausted. Each night you do not merely sleep, you cross. Each morning you do not merely wake, you return. And in the return, the greatest gift is not rest, but the remembrance that within you there is a place where time does not touch, where silence breathes, where the soul never tires.